Have the Chinese finally built a BMW rival? This is the new Zeekr 7X, and I've spent a lot of time in it lately, including a Sydney to Melbourne long distance trip. So this is the question I've been grappling with. Is it a genuine Euro killer?
With sharp pricing targeting Tesla and BYD and an Audi-esque interior, it's a very compelling package.
On paper, it's China's most convincing premium EV yet, but is it good enough to take on the Germans? Yes, it's very ambitious, but there's one critical flaw. It's probably not what you think. In this test drive, I'll cover everything from long distance seat comfort to boot space to integration of technology and real world charging capacity to find out if this vehicle is truly China's best export yet.
The Zeekr 7X is China's most serious attempt yet at cracking the luxury EV market. It's based on a premium platform architecture shared with Volvo and Polestar models, and this mid-size electric SUV targets everything from the Tesla Model Y to the BMW iX and countless other silent, and not so silent, German SUVs. But as with any challenger brand, this one is going to struggle to steal luxury car buyers for one simple reason: badge value.
Well, I can say hand on heart, this is a better vehicle in almost every way than an equivalent BMW. It is missing one thing that will make it routinely overlooked by these buyers looking for a premium vehicle, and that is pedigree, heritage, and brand value. This badge here doesn't mean a pinch of shit. Yet.
I asked my mum if she knew what a Zeekr was, and she said it was an instrument from India. Partial credit. Thanks, Mum. Anyway, this long-range rear-wheel drive 7X sits in the middle of the 3-variant lineup, offering the best range of the lot, more than 600 kilometres according to Zeekr. With almost 3,000 pre-orders already locked in locally, the 7X is off to a flying start.
That's down to keen pricing and smart incentives, because the first 1,000 buyers of this vehicle in Australia got a free 7-kilowatt home charger and an extended warranty.
The Chinese SUV starts at just under 58 grand for the base rear-wheel drive model, excluding on-road costs. This mid-spec long range we're testing, $64,000.
A quick check at the Zeekr website shows that you can add another $6,000 to the prices of these three models. That's what it costs to drive it away. That's the on-road costs. However, even when you factor that in, this vehicle represents very good value, especially against European rivals. And even when you line it up against something like the Tesla Model Y, it's got a far superior equipment list. It makes the Tesla look a little bit bare in comparison. There are two primary options that most customers will consider. One of them is premium paint, like this forest green paint job. That's $1,500. And all up, there are 5 different paint jobs, and only black is free. And the same goes for the interior. Black is gratis. If you want different colors, again, that's going to cost $1,500. So this one's got black. If you option the grey one, $1,500. And on the top spec flagship models, there's also white and purple, each to their own.
A 5-year warranty is respectable compared to European premium brands, and maintenance intervals are set every 20,000 kilometres. Again, respectable, but not class leading.
The Zeekr 7X ain't a bad looking rig, but there's nothing unique about it. It's kind of like a lot of Chinese SUVs. It's a bit of an amorphous blob. You could mistake this vehicle for a Leapmotor C10 or maybe an Xpeng G6. There's nothing that really jumps out at you except maybe these two bad boys. My old man lived in Singapore for 15 years, and you'll find these on every second car over there. The programmable Stargate LED light display we saw on the front of the car earlier in the year sadly is not legal in Australia. That would have given it a nice point of difference. But these automatic power opening doors are kind of interesting, but I never know whether to put my hand in like that or just yank it, and sometimes it pops it open, and every now and then passengers have had trouble with it. Okay, it's working perfectly now. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Anyway, hit and miss. This 7X long-range rear-wheel drive model runs a single electric motor on the rear axle, and it produces impressive amounts of power and torque, and it genuinely feels muscular on the road, something that can't be said about all single-motor EVs. The heart of the Zeekr 7X is a very dense, very expensive 100 kilowatt hour battery pack developed by Chinese battery giant CATL, and it is a pearler. It's one of the fastest charging batteries available, and if you've got a DC fast charger that can do 420 kilowatts, that's what this will charge up to with its 800 volt electrical architecture. Only problem is you're only going to get about 350 kilowatts max in Australia right now. Translation, this will charge from 10 to 80% in 16 minutes, claims Zeekr. Even AC charging is fast thanks to its 22 kilowatt onboard charger. Like any EV, that real world range will vary depending on your driving style, the terrain, and even the weather. But on a long distance trip from Sydney to Melbourne, we were averaging well over 500 Ks per charge, driving at 110 kilometers an hour with the air conditioning blasting, with the cooled seats. We had stuff charging in the back. It's pretty impressive.
Step inside and the 7X feels like a far more expensive vehicle. If first impressions count, then Zeekr is on to a winner here. It's all very neat and tidy. There's not a profusion of buttons and controls. I think those with OCD tendencies like myself will love it because it's all very orderly. The steering wheel looks and feels good with a squircle sort of shape. The steering wheel controls are nice and simple, and the seats are excellent. They are PU, that's polyurethane upholstery, and they're really quite nice, soft and supple. They've got good cushioning as well, nice and comfy. And look, if no one told me these were basically plastic, I would think it was leather. They're really nice and soft. This synthetic leather is made by coating a fabric with polyurethane plastic. There's pros and cons here. It looks and feels like premium leather, is generally more durable and easier to clean. Seat comfort is also really good. Both driver and front passenger have 14-way power adjustable pews, and they're really supportive as well. I like them. Having driven from Sydney to Melbourne around 10 hours in the saddle, I stepped out of this Chinese chariot feeling pretty good. The hips, the back, no soreness whatsoever. Something I can't say about all the vehicles I've driven long distance. And what's better is that it's got heated, cooled seats and even a massage function as well. So it's got pretty much everything here. Very good comfort in these seats. Fit and finish throughout the interior is first rate. There's a sense of solidity and quality I dare say Zeekr has inherited from its Swedish cousin over at Volvo. Good luck finding coarse or cheap materials in the cabin. It's all top shelf stuff. And while the overall design is fairly conservative, so are the tastes of premium car buyers. The 21 speaker audio system is an absolute pearler as well. Rich bass, sharp treble, and how's this? It used to be a Yamaha sound system, now it's Zeekr sound. A cynic would say Zeekr got what it wanted and now doesn't want to pay the licensing fees. It has power adjustable wing mirrors and steering wheel, but it's not all rainbows and leprechauns because to adjust them, you have to go to this menu, hit adjust mirrors, and then use these here for adjusting, and then the steering wheel's over here, up, down, and it's needlessly complicated. Physical controls are a better option. The same goes for the front air vents. You click here, and to adjust them, we'll turn the fan on, and you've got to move them left and right. Doesn't go up and down, these go up and down. Double tap to turn them off. So yeah, it's a bit fiddly. It would be so much easier just to have manual control. Also, there's no in-vehicle fridge like you get in Chinese models. So you hit this one here and, oh, refrigerator not connected. Storage solutions are really good in this Zeekr. The company reckons there's 36 magic storage cubbies throughout the vehicle, but unless a rabbit pops out, I don't know about that. But let's start with the center console bin here, the little spot for the keys there, that's cool. And it's really big, but there's no air conditioning and no fridge. Where's the fridge? The cup holders are nicely concealed under this padded lid here, and they're within easy reach too, which is great. Plus, they fold back, so this can be a nice little incidental storage area for a wallet or a clutch or something. You've got two wireless phone chargers, 50 watts each, so nice and powerful. Plus they're cooled. A medium-sized glove box, which incidentally is open via a button here. There's no manual release. There's also a little area under here. You've got two USB-C ports, and then the bottle holders are medium-sized, plus one last little cubby. I love this little secret stash in here. Chuck your phone in, beautiful. The infotainment system centers around this massive 16-inch 3.5K touchscreen running a fairly potent Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Not a lot of lag here. It animates beautifully and switches between menus swiftly. And look, if you've had experience with Chinese cars before, you'll find the interface intuitive. But if you're coming from a Japanese or European car, it'll take some time to get acquainted with. Thankfully, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay work wired and wirelessly and look great. They're super sharp. I really like the quick menu that appears with the downstroke. It allows you to fiddle with the head-up display system. You can change the lights quickly. This is a really useful little area, and it's customizable, so you can add different elements, set it up the way you want it. However, one thing it's missing is the triple-digit temperature adjustment that you get on a BYD. In that vehicle, you can do this to adjust fan and temperature. Whereas this one, you've got to go through these sections. And come on, Zeekr, just steal that feature from BYD. It's really good. There are a bunch of frivolous features included here, including a light and sound show, but the kiddie camera for the back seat is pretty handy. There's also outside sounds you can play while stationary, various warnings, spoken, and there's cats and horses too. This vehicle really is stacked with features, including a sentry mode, pet mode, camping mode, car wash mode, lots of modes. You've also got a 13-inch digital instrument cluster that's beautifully integrated into the dash, and it's nice and easy to see through that funky squircle hole in the steering wheel. The only thing about it is there's not a lot of customization, 5 little side menus there. However, there is a massive 36-inch head-up display, so it's got navigation instructions, road speed. There's even a lot of data from other cars. All the sensors are picking up all the cars which appear on that head-up display. You've got the road, all sorts of stuff. And at first, it's a little bit overwhelming. There's so much stuff there, but you do get used to it. My thinking is that because the car is sensing and detecting so many things all at once, pedestrian, cyclist cars, this vehicle might be getting full self-driving functionality at some stage in the future. There's also Eva, Zeekr's AI assistant. It's okay, but whether you'll actually want to use it is debatable. But look, it's there if you want it. The parking camera systems, on the other hand, are mint. High def, full screen, lots of angles, lots of options. It's about as good as they get. It's easy to use and very effective. Top marks Zeekr. Safety systems are comprehensive, but only 7 airbags seems a bit stingy for a brand that shares DNA with Volvo, a paragon of safety in the auto world. It's got a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, but at the time of putting this video together, it was not yet tested by Aussie safety authority ANCAP. So this vehicle measures just under 4.8 meters long, putting it in roughly the same territory as a Tesla Model Y and a BMW X3. But interior space feels more like a much larger SUV. I've got so much legroom here. This is ridiculous. And headroom, even with this glass roof here and a proper sunshade, Mercy be, is still really good. Like I'm impressed. You know, it's got a sloping roof and stuff, and look, overall comfort. It's like the front seats, the PU fake leather, the synthetic leather feels really good. The cushions are great, even for long distance. And yeah, there is a real sense of luxury back here in the fit and finish and the quality of materials. So this is definitely closer to the BMW than the Tesla in terms of its ambience. Amenity back here is excellent. We've got air vents in the B pillars here, which is nice, plus plenty of storage. Secret storage under here. Love a secret stash. There's a little pocket here, seat back pockets, plus the fold-out armrest with 2 cup holders and USB-C and A ports, and little touches too. That's magnetized. Little 1%ers, they just add this premium feel back here. You've got reading lights, Jesus handles, and like the front doors, push button to open, so they're power operated. But again, like the front doors, there's a little catch under here. So if the battery runs out, the 12-volt battery can still get out. That is a good feature. Now, there is also a little control panel on the other door there that allows you to adjust this front passenger seat forward and back. And last but not least, check this out. 10 degrees of power adjustable recline. This is very nice. Family-friendly features include super wide opening doors, along with 2 ISOFIX and 3 top tether anchorage points.
Pop the bonnet and you've got a decent sized Frunk in here, 62 litres, which is probably good for storing your cables, which cost extra with this car. Boo, hiss. Or you could take this carpet out and then you can put, like, you know, muddy boots or wetsuit or something in there. It's a pretty good setup. You get a power operated tailgate that reveals a fairly large cargo area. The boot aperture is nice and wide. The load space is really nice and flat. There's no lip as well. Plus, there's plenty of extra little cargo cubbies under here. It's not as big as in the Tesla Model Y, but I like that it becomes a partition there. Plus, there's another little extra section under here for your storage. You've got 2 useful bag hooks, a pair of very good LED lights that provide good illumination at night. Plus there's 4 tie-down hooks, a 12-volt socket, and just like a BMW, you've got the warning triangle here if the car breaks down and you want to have a little bit of warning for other drivers. Oh, have I broken that? Slightly. No, it's all good. It's fixed. You can also get, no, you also have a cargo cover as well, but someone's stolen this one. It disappeared. Like most EVs, there's no spare tyre. That's because the battery's pretty big and the boot's pretty deep. I would love to see a space saver spare underslung under there, but them's the brakes. Now, this vehicle has some extra charging WYSIWYGs going on. The first is V2L, or vehicle to load. So this has a 3.3 kilowatt vehicle to load, which means you can plug in appliances, TV, air fryer, whatever, maybe a washing machine, whatever you want to do. Problem is, you've got to get a cable and plug it into the external charging port, which is annoying. I would have loved to have seen a regular household power point in the back here, like you would find in, say, a Kia EV6. However, this vehicle does have V2G, or vehicle to grid, built in. Has the hardware ready to go. You can do it now if you want. However, if you do that right now, you will void the warranty on this vehicle. Zeekr told us they're still testing the V2G stuff because they want to see what the long-term effects are on the battery and that sort of thing. So yes, this is future-proofed in a lot of ways, but if you do engage vehicle to grid and plug it into your house, then yes, you will have warranty issues.
Oh, and I almost forgot, the rear seats fold down to open up significantly more space.
So this EV is impressive on almost every front. I really like it, and guess what? It's delightful to drive as well. The way the 7X motivates kind of manifests that premium promise you get when you first jump into the interior. It's a delight to drive. It's solid, responsive, but never intimidating. No sharp edges to its performance, just smooth, resolved power and easygoing handling. It nails the sweet spot between daily commuter and weekend explorer. I've already put more than 1,000 Ks on the clock of this vehicle and kind of convinced it's almost the Goldilocks of EVs. Not too soft, not too spicy, just right. The rear drive setup and steering that's more direct than your best mate after a strong coffee means it just glides around the place. And honestly, it feels like it should cost way more than 64 grand. I love this steering wheel too. It's got beautiful tactility, so you know, your hands are on the wheel more than anything else. You get a sense that this is an upmarket vehicle, but the angles here, and here are great because you can grab them and you get more grip on them than you would on a circular steering wheel, so that it's really easy to twirl and spin and do 3-point turns. Ring-a-ding-ding. This makes urban and city driving a cinch. Its nose keenly diving into tight turns and navigating small roundabouts with ease. Handling dynamics are not quite as sharp as the latest Tesla Model Y, and it can't really match European luxury SUVs either, but it is pretty close, and if nothing else, it's very tidy and very composed. And for a 2.3 tonne EV, it hides its weight well, staying flat and controlled when turning, and that steering feel is nicer than you'd expect. It's lively enough on twisting roads and is actually pretty engaging, especially for a Chinese vehicle. But at the same token, it won't wear you out in gridlocked traffic. And
In general, the autonomous driving functions are actually pretty good. A few times the autonomous cruise control and auto steering has had a bit of a conniption, but 9 out of 10 times I've been impressed with its ability to stay in its lane and basically drive itself. Ride comfort is likewise impressive, doubly so given this model doesn't get the adaptive dampers or air suspension of the top spec high performance 7X. There are 3 different drive modes: comfort, standard and sport. And look, even if you don't splurge on the top shelf high performance dual motor version, acceleration from this single motor at the rear end is actually pretty good. I mean, 300 kilowatts, that's not to be sniffed at. And how's this? There's already an updated 7X revealed in China with even more power and slightly bigger battery packs. The updated rear-wheel drive models get an even more potent 370 kilowatt e-motor at the back, but at the moment it's unclear whether these upgrades will flow into export markets like Australia. The Zeekr 7X is impressively refined. Tyre roar is almost non-existent, and at triple-digit speeds on the freeway, the cabin only gets a little bit of wind noise around the mirrors. When it comes to range, that single e-motor and the CATL battery pack, 100 kilowatt hours, do impressive work together. At freeway speeds, it'll easily do 500 kilometers, as we discovered driving interstate, while urban exploration will yield better results, close to 600 kilometers by our measure. And battery recharging is crazy fast. It's not just marketing hype. When we used a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger, we were hitting speeds of around 310 kilowatts, and from a low battery level, around 10%, we added 250 kilometers in just 7 minutes. That's pretty good. We'll publish that video soon, so keep your peepers peeled. On that topic, I do sometimes wonder about electromagnetic vibes and various types of radiation, especially while charging at such high rates while sitting in the car. I mean, I'm not into chemtrails or crystal readings or anything like that, but I am curious. Experts reckon EMF levels around EVs are well within safety limits, even during high-speed charging. Still, if it gives you peace of mind, hop out, stretch the legs, and let the electrons do their thing. Okay, back on track, and this feels like a very well-engineered EV, because it kind of drives like a conventional SUV, which is not an easy thing to do with something so heavy and binary, but at the same time, it's got that, you know, it radiates that upmarket vibe. It's impressive. There's been a lot of hype around this SUV, and most of it appears to be justified. This EV is not some lab project gone rogue. It's quick but without the drama, and it's comfy but without the float. And this steering it's just so natural. It's got a really progressive feel to it that at times you forget you're driving an EV. Just hop in and get on with it. It represents very good value and plugs gaps left by the Tesla Model Y by adding a digital instrument display, a head-up display, and a 360-degree parking camera. And if the price of a BMW X3 or the all-new iX3 is too much, this premium Chinese SUV will be worth a gander. The Zeekr 7X rear-wheel drive long-range model over-delivers in almost every respect, and there's no badge tax, meaning it represents very good value for money. Sure, there's some unnecessary techno gimmicks and it's not quite German sharp dynamically, but for most buyers, that won't matter. This is undoubtedly one of the best EVs I've ever tested. It is very, very good. Is it a bona fide Euro Slayer? I'm not convinced. The biggest issue it faces is badge value, and customer loyalty to those German brands will probably stop it being a massive seller straight away. But that could change in time. So is this thing gonna Zeek and destroy all other rivals? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for our Sydney to Melbourne drive. Almost 1,000 kilometers in this thing. You don't wanna miss it. So subscribe and hit the bell button.